Hi everybody. Everybody has a talent, but some people have real superpowers. No one or almost no one can do what they do, and sometimes it's really hard to believe that it's actually real. Today we're going to talk about these kind of people, so make yourself comfortable and let's get it on. Kevin Richardson. Some people think it's impossible to find a common language with wild animals. After all, they are wild. But Kevin Richardson thinks otherwise. He is a world-renowned zoologist and behavioral animal scientist. He proved it's possible to build a relationship with animals based on love, respect, and trust.
Slowly, slowly, slowly!
For more than 10 years, Kevin's been working with hyenas, lions, and other big felines such as cheetahs and leopards. He is easily accepted by wild and very dangerous animals in their flocks. And here's what's surprising. Kevin doesn't use the common methods of training, like intimidating the animal with sticks and chains. Instead, he seeks the love and trust of these dangerous predators. However, it's not easy to start a new friendship in an instant. It is the result of a long and hard work. Kevin met most of the lions he's working with now when they were just cubs. Richardson's skills have dissipated many myths about animals. He proved that lions and other wild animals do have feelings, personalities, and are social beings. Different species can interact with each other based on understanding and trust. However, this does not mean that there are no dangers. The zoologist himself has been injured many times in his life, but this hasn't affected his attitude towards animals. David Blaine. The world-famous illusionist David Blaine is known for his absolutely incredible tricks, but apart from his magic tricks, he can also place himself in unimaginable conditions and still survive.
No, 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 please, no,
my God, no!
please. Oh, gosh.
Blaine's list of frightening achievements includes being buried alive in a plastic container, being frozen in ice, being held for 44 days without food in a box above the Thames, and much more. And in 2006, the illusionist tried to break the Guinness World Record for holding his breath underwater while trying to get free from a set of heavy chains. Before that, he spent 7 days in a glass bubble filled with water receiving air through a tube.
7 astonishing days where David Blaine has been living in a spectacular 8-foot human aquarium.
Sounds dangerous or even a little crazy. Well, this is David Blaine we're talking about. However, he failed to set a new world record. He had to hold his breath for at least 8 minutes and 59 seconds, but after 7 minutes and 8 seconds, Blaine didn't look very well, and the illusionist was pulled out of the water.
Go!
Divers are in.
Relax, relax. We got you, David. You're all right.
But 2 years later, David managed to break the record. He was underwater for 17 minutes and 4 seconds. Blaine later confessed that he dreamed of setting this record all his life. Troy James. Attention everybody, do not try to repeat what you're about to witness. As you can see, Canadian acrobat Troy James knows how to bend his body and limbs in an unreal, almost unbelievable way. Troy uses his talent to play zombies and demons in different movies, and to amaze people at talent shows. Moreover, he can even eat and play sports in positions impossible to reach for an average human being. Call an exorcist, quickly!
This.
After all, Troy looks exactly like a person possessed by a demon from any horror movie. The contortionist himself believes that his flexibility is innate. When he was young, he took it for granted. He confessed that in school he was bullied for his extraordinary skills. I got super embarrassed and hid my ability until high school, where it suddenly became the coolest thing and everyone loved it. And indeed, it is a very cool ability. But hopefully you aren't watching this video before bedtime. By the way, some internet users think that the contortionist suffers from the rare Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's a hereditary pathology of the connective tissues, which allows him to bend himself in all directions. This pathology is very rare and cannot be cured, but it is possible to live with it and even make a living out of it. Master Zhu. A small group of Tibetan monks known as Tummo monks have attracted the attention of people from all over the world for their ability to enter into deep meditation. They concentrate so much on the warmth of their bodies that their temperature rises to incredible levels. But Master Zhu has improved this amazing skill. He can concentrate heat in his hands and then, according to rumors, soothe pain and sickness by putting his hands on the patient's body. When asked to demonstrate his abilities, he dried soft clay in his hands or even boiled water by simply holding a glass in his hand. Thanks to his abilities and fame, Master Zhu is now known as the Jewel of China. Scientists that conducted research with the participation of the Great Master couldn't find any scientific explanation for his abilities. Zhu himself believes that his power is the result of his ability to use the Qi energy through meditation and concentration, focusing it in the palms of his hands. His hands can reach a temperature of up to 94 degrees Celsius. Werner Freund. Everyone probably knows about the story of Mowgli, a boy who grew up in the jungle surrounded by wolves and other wild animals. But what happens if an adult joins a wolf pack? As the experience of Werner Freund shows, it is quite possible to become part of the pack. The former paratrooper began communicating with the wolves more than 40 years ago. During this time, he personally raised more than 70 animals. In Werner's pack, there are wolves of several breeds at once. Some of them come from Europe, others from Siberia, some from Mongolia, and some others from North America. At first sight, seeing Werner contacting with his pack may seem like a cunning circus trick. 29 wild wolves behaved quite friendly towards this person. Although it proved to be relatively difficult to achieve this, Werner had to try really hard to become the main wolf of the pack. In addition, authority must be maintained at all times. For example, during each meal, the leader always eats first and makes sure that the other members of the pack don't eat before he does. And no special diet either, just raw meat like a real predator. During his long life, he wrote several books on wolves' behavior, including his most famous work, Wolf Among Wolves. Unfortunately, Werner Freund died on February 9, 2014 at the age of 80, but remains forever in history as a true wolf man. Jerry McCulloch. Jerry McCulloch is known as one of the fastest shooters in the world and has won over 50 national awards and titles, as well as 45 international titles. Everyone who is interested in weapons in their history has probably heard of Jerry because he is a true pro. This incredible shooter holds several world records for speed shooting, 8 shots from a revolver on a single target in 1 second. As well as 6 shots from 10 different revolvers in 17.12 seconds. From childhood, Jerry had a real passion for hunting, and his talent for shooting was discovered at an early age. However, years passed before Jerry was able to use his gift. By the way, apart from shooting, McCulloch is also a real expert on weapons. He works with legendary manufacturers such as Smith & Wesson and Mossberg, who sponsor him during his competitions. Jerry says he has shot at least 1.5 million rounds in his life. Alan Robert. Do you find Spider-Man's abilities absolutely unreal? Then you simply haven't seen what Alan Robert can do. Not in vain, the famous climber and skyscraper is known as the French Spider-Man, and although Alan can't shoot spiderwebs from his wrists, his ability to climb on steep surfaces is fantastic. After all, the French Spider-Man does not use any climbing equipment except for chalk and climbing shoes. Alan has climbed more than 90 high-rise buildings around the world, for which he was listed in the Guinness Book of Records. Since he usually makes his unbelievable high-rise performances without the permission of the authorities and building owners, he has been arrested several dozen times around the world. Alan Roberts' ascents around the world have attracted media attention. Among the objects he conquered are the Empire State Building, the Eiffel Tower, the IBM headquarters, Hilton Hotels, Torre Arriva, the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur, the Akbar Tower in Barcelona, and that's not even the whole list. His performances attract crowds of spectators who come to watch Alan climb another building. Surprisingly, the climber's physical training somehow protects him from injuries. In an interview in 2005, Alan Roberts said that he only fell 7 times in his life. You have to admit, not a lot, considering the total number of climbs and the constant risk. The last conquered building on Alan's list is the GT International Tower in the Philippines. Alan climbed it not so long ago, on January 29, 2019, and he's 56 years old, by the way. Concetta antico. Tetrachromatism is a rare genetic anomaly that affects the development of the retina. Its carriers see many more colors than ordinary people. For example, let's take the most ordinary asphalt road. It seems to us to be a boring gray stripe, but for people with tetrachromatism, it shines like the showcase of a jewelry store. It's not easy to find a person capable of seeing such incredible shades, but Concetta Antico is of particular interest because she is an artist. Through her works, Concetta is able to show her unusual perception of the human world and its colors. Today, this artist has her own gallery in San Diego, California, where she uses her unique vision to create bright, unconventional paintings. They could be taken for a special artistic concept, but Antico says that's how she sees the world around her. However, this unique way to see colors is not always an advantage. Concetta says that even a simple visit to the supermarket is a nightmare because she just sees giant piles of different colors. That's why the artist's favorite color is white. It's very calm and relaxing for her amazing eyesight.